Okay, so we are live. Let me adjust it real quick. I have some visitors here. So, how you guys doing? Let's get this live stream going. Ah, I haven't been able to think this whole week. This whole week I've been busy. Let me put it to see the live chat. There we go. Okay. I'm never ready. Let me get my microphone real quick. I will be filming outdoors. So hey George, how you doing? Sorry I couldn't film Wednesday. Okay, just gonna get some brushes I fixed up. I fixed up my Bill Alexander brush. Look at that. It's nice chiseled edge, and once I beat it, it'll come back together. I left it out for a couple of days drying, so the longer you leave it out, the better. One of my 2 inches from Bob Ross. Okay. Let me see. Message. Yeah, again, I had lots of things to do, and people were asking me for favors, so I couldn't say no, and time ran out. I wasn't able to film. I'm sorry, but I said I would make up with a video. Today I'm gonna do a live stream. I think live streams are better. Yeah, that Bill Alexander brush is 2.5 inches. It's a bigger brush compared to my 2 inch Bob Ross. So you guys are right here watching me get ready because I'm never ready. Every time I'm about to film a video, I think I'm ready and I'm not. But it shouldn't take me long. And I got a new palette too, so that'll be cool. New palette, canvas, pre-stretch, double prime canvas. Nothing new. And today I'm going to do a bit more advanced, I think, or at least I'm gonna try. Um, I don't want to pass like an hour 10, hour 20. I know I have a good amount of time, but I don't want to pass that time. Oh god, it's really really bright out here. I'm painting outdoors again. For live streams, I'm gonna paint outdoors. Pre-recorded video, they're gonna be indoors and all that good stuff. How you guys doing? Let's see. Any new messages? Nope. Okay, we're good. I'm just putting on my liquid white. Yeah, but if you guys ever want to buy a Bill Alexander brush, your best bet is eBay, because it took me like a year and a half to find this Bill Alexander brush, but I found it and I don't let no one use it. I don't let stuff like that. Like I keep it to myself. I'm pretty greedy when it comes to certain brushes. I'm picky on who uses them, who doesn't. Just clean my palette up a bit. I spilled a little liquid white on my palette. How you guys doing? Feel free to tap in the chat. Uh, I want to be able to have a conversation with everyone. So I'm gonna grab some Indian yellow just here on my palette. Maybe Indian yellow. Damn it, I always forget my paints. I have a vault over here at the bottom. Well, not a vault, but a little like briefcase type where I have paint. Crimson, phthalo blue. I'm gonna need white. We'll start off with that for now. I think blue, red, white, and yellow are more than enough colors. If we need to build up more, we'll build up more colors. Yeah, I was really lucky to find one on eBay. I saw one not too long ago where they were selling the kit, which had the 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 1 inch, some of Bill Alexander's paints, stuff like that. And I didn't want to waste no more money on that. But I consider myself very lucky to be able to find the 2.5 inch brush because those are no joke. They are really, really hard to find. We hear some people on the side. Please excuse them. Um, my sister brought her daughter over here, and she's playing around with her grandma, my mother, and they're just playing around outside. So if you hear any laughs, any screaming, please excuse it. Just a heads up. How you doing? Nice to see you from Houston, Texas. Wow, I get that far. I thought it was only United States. Oh, I mean like Los Angeles type area. Okay, let's get started with today's painting. I don't wanna waste any time. I'm gonna grab a palette knife and I'm gonna go into a little bit of phthalo blue. Just a little bit. I know there's gonna be light reflections on my palette, like glares. So please excuse those. Um, it's just what comes with the new palette. Like really, when you put it out in the light, you're gonna see that. Okay, just mix up a color you're satisfied with. Maybe some more white. Maybe a touch of red. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my 2 inch brush, the one I use for the liquid white. And I'm gonna go into that bluish lavender light color. And I'm just gonna block in color. Again, I'm gonna try to make this more advanced, more intermediate. Okay. Usually, like for wet on wet, it's usually like a pretty easy style, since it's not meant to be like traditional painting, but you can convert it into a harder style of painting by just changing up your colors and all that good stuff. Okay, we're not done with the sky, but we're gonna leave it at that for now. Any questions, comments, you guys could leave it in the chat. I'll try to respond to it. What's the plan for this painting? None. I have no idea. All I know is We're gonna make it a bit more complicated than usual. A little bit of blue, little bit of crimson. Same color as I have here, just a bit darker I want it. Usually I have like a little plan in my mind, but today, nothing. I just knew I had to paint. Okay, some white. Let's come up here. That's too dark because you don't want it to have too much. That's a bit better. I'm just using a flat brush. Usually I don't use these types of brushes. I've used this brush before in particular, but not for stuff like this. What do you guys want to see? A seascape? Uh, what type of painting? I could go from there before I move on to my mid-ground section. Okay, I think that looks good. That cloud at least. I'm gonna wipe off my brush. Go into some titanium white. A little bit of that bluish. You don't want pure white because then you lose any. You can't go back and highlight it a bit more to make it seem like there's more light. You wanna have it somewhat polluted but lighter than this. So notice how if I get up close here, it's like a light blue color. That's what you kind of want. Let's come up here and just pushing upwards. Okay. Okay, there we go. And work in layers. That's the that's the key. I could look up to the sky and probably see a cloud or two. And with that I can kind of guide myself. But notice how I'm not covering everything. I'm leaving some gaps in there. Just slightly. Okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and lightly blend this out. Lift it up and go across. Now I want to go with some lighter color. So just add more white. Maybe a touch of uh, Indian yellow. Just a touch. Okay. Let's come up here. Oh yeah. I like that. I like that. Quite a good amount. Okay. Don't be scared to change things up. I would recommend, honestly, you guys try to gain your confidence with some uh, beginner paintings that I've done before, and then try to do this one because I'm gonna do some things that I probably wouldn't do regularly on others. How about a galaxy or nebula type of painting? That's a good idea. The bad thing is I have liquid white, so even if I put black on, it wouldn't show up. So I could I could do that for a pre-recorded video on Wednesday where I start off with the black canvas and we can work my way up from there. Now add some white. But notice how much back and forth I keep going on with that cloud. If you want a more advanced look, that's what it takes. Just lightly lift. I always like lifting up, even if it's a more difficult technique or whatever. I think lifting up just gives it that nice illusion. I'm gonna zoom in a bit more. There we go. That that looks good right there. Okay, now if anything, we'll come back to that. Um, let's go into some crimson and some of that bluish color. When you have a limited palette, it helps you learn what values to get with what. So, if you want to learn, put very little colors on your palette. Like, don't use black, don't use green, don't use brown. Mix them up yourself, and then you start to learn little by little. Okay, I think that's too much to the red. A little bit of yellow just to make it a little green, just a little. Okay, a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's better. That's the nice gray greenish color I kind of am looking for. Okay, just pull that down. I'm probably gonna use this brush for the most of the painting. I might use a palette knife or a bigger brush time to time. Much better, and yeah, suggestion. Thank you for your suggestion though. It's because I don't know what you guys really want, so I just go off like what I usually paint. And I usually paint like landscapes. I don't paint. I've painted before nebulas and all that, but I don't really paint it on a day-to-day basis compared to other artists. So that's why I don't know what you guys want, but I need you guys to tell me what you guys want in order to start to do that. Little yellow mixing up a green color. Okay, it's a very very dull green, but I just want some green. And then I'm gonna mix up some more yellow in there and add few highlights. You're just blocking in that color. Just going back with that blue, grayish green color. Then go with some brighter green. Just mess around with it, experiment with it, and really that's how one learns. I could tell you guys how to do something a million times, and what matters is how you guys do it when it comes time to that. Okay, I think light would hit somewhere around there. So since light would hit, it would become lighter there. Okay. Not really caring much about it right now because we're gonna come back and add more details, more action going on. So just gonna go back. When I want a dark color, I just go back into my blue and it kind of darkens it up a bit, makes it seem like a shadowy color. But think of the angles and the way shadows would hit and all that. I thought uh, when first starting off, I thought it was gonna take a long time before I started doing a bit more advanced paintings, but seems like you guys are wanting them or are ready for them. So here they are, a little bit more complex. Okay, I'm just coming back and forth, making sure there's no comments I miss. Okay, now Blocking that right here. Okay, now we can actually go ahead and a little bit of crimson, a little bit of blue, just crimson and blue. Maybe a little bit of yellow just to dull it down, make it gray. And maybe that's too green. You have to put on the canvas and evaluate your colors really. Maybe right here, there lives another mountain. Maybe one we see more up close. Okay, I think I want a tree here, some leaves here. I'm just blocking in, really. Um, Once I want to go more into detail, I will go more in detail. But as of now, I'm just blocking in color, just letting loose. Here would be another plank. Some light would be here, more shadows around here. I think some trees around here. And as of now, that's what I got. Okay, so I want to change my value up a bit. Too much to the green side, in my opinion, for like the mountain type color. Okay, block it in. Okay, there we go. Just scrub it in. If you want, you can pull it. It really has no difference. Usually we do it on wet because it allows for easier when it comes to highlighting, but here the highlights aren't as difficult in my opinion. They're just more tedious. Just making sure. Uh, uh so I started painting when I was probably like 3, 4 years ago. So 13, 12, around that age. Um, what had happened was my parents had me in damn, I really forgot. Oh, in a Boys and Girls Club program, and I had this teacher, wonderful teacher and everything, really kind, like all great things to say about her. And I had her like program for art, and I was painting, but I didn't really find interest in it. It was kind of just like, you're gonna go, you're gonna do this and do that and come home. And I was okay with it. And one time we are gonna do this project, and I was messing around with a couple of brushes, just running around with the brush in my hand or whatever. And she got me in trouble for running around, where she didn't kick me out, but she kicked me out. She told my dad that I could return back when I was more mature, more ready for it, and that it wasn't the right moment. And so that kind of made me want to have it more, and to kind of prove like I can do this all by myself. I don't need no one teaching me. Kind of my ego. And I came across Bob Ross. I started off with acrylics because those were cheap paints, cheap brushes, and I just kept going little by little, and I came to be able to paint like this. And honestly, I know lots of people say it's a talent, but I really think anyone can learn whatever they want. And it's a matter of how much discipline you put rather than whether it's a God given talent or not. So hopefully that answered that question. I know I might have gone a little off track with that, but it came off like it happened by like wanting to prove to people like I can do it by myself and I don't need no teacher to do it. And the question afterwards was, well, who's gonna show your paintings? No one's gonna find you. And I said, well, there's always YouTube. And I did that. And so, yeah, I believe it was like 3 years at most when I started painting. But first it started like not really that serious, and then it became its own little thing. So I'm just putting in some shadows right here wherever I would think some shadows would hit. And I'm gonna grab my 2-inch brush and just mist the base out of it. Okay, missed it. There we go. Let me see. Any other questions? Live chat. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it's just being able to have that discipline of every day trying just a little bit, and I'm always proud of myself for being able to learn it. I try not to think about it too much, to be able to stay humble and say, you know what, I started from here. She was the one who started me off, but also it's like I basically learned everything by myself, and the things she taught me I don't use at all. So I'm proud of myself, but I also have to remember who started me off and all that stuff. Just adding more highlights and diffuse it a bit. Okay, there we go. See, I think black would have been too much contrast, and that's not what you want in these types of paintings. Yeah, my parents support me when it comes to painting and all that. The only thing I don't like is they want to get me back to the Boys and Girls Club where I first started. And the reason why I didn't go anymore is because I didn't like the way she kind of told me to come back when I was ready. But I don't know. I feel like she could have treated the situation a bit better rather than just saying, don't come back until you're ready, you're more mature or whatever. And I just rather just learn by myself and try to publish my work by myself rather than depend on someone. But rather than that, my parents are very, very supportive when it comes to my art. They're always telling people to check out my channel. They're always um, trying to, well, not trying to. They're always telling people that I do paintings and all that. So they're wonderful. They're more than what I can ask for. They're really supportive, and yeah, I thank them because when I was first starting off, it wasn't, if they really didn't want me to continue with art, they would have said, enough is enough, you're not doing art anymore. But when I didn't have money, they said, it's fine, I'll pay it for you. Just keep working on it. And from there on, I just I try my best to improve every single time, take back a little bit more information than what I knew the day before. And I don't stop. I keep trying to learn. I Right now I've been trying to learn how to do realistic waters, like where you see inside, like clear water and all that. So I'm constantly studying and trying to improve myself. And I think that's what sort of helps, is if you keep studying what you want to do. And when I say study, I don't mean go to school and take a class or whatever. All I mean is like find some information that might help you and take it back, like take some information that's gonna help you improve as a whatever you're trying to do, whether it's painting, whether it's mechanics, whether it's whatever. I'm the type of person who doesn't like being bossed around. I rather do things by myself and go through the errors by myself rather than someone telling me what to do and not go through those errors. I learn by my errors, by my mistakes. Uh, let's see. You're starting to paint. Hey, you have to start somewhere, you know? I hated my paintings. I would paint over them and I regret it because I don't have those paintings. And how much I wish I would have kept those paintings the way they were. Um, I was thinking about it, and people, about the going back thing. People are saying you can get like a voluntarily job or an actual job there and help her out, but it's it's my ego that doesn't let me. My ego's like saying don't do it. You kind of surrender defeat, and even though it's to help others, trying to inspire others, I feel like I gave up and all that work for nothing. But maybe one day I might just go back and forget about everything. I have a feeling I'm gonna bump into that teacher one day. I don't know when, I don't know how. I have a feeling. Okay, just brush that out. I was working on a painting. Let me show you guys. That is more advanced, and it's a big canvas. Um, Let me grab it to show you guys. So I'm gonna just prop it up here. Hopefully you could see it. But yeah, um, we got that, and that's how it looks at the bottom. I haven't had the time to finish it, so it's been like that for a couple of weeks already. But I know I'm gonna finish it one day, and this one I'm gonna sell for a good amount because two things. It's a big painting, and um, it takes a lot of work for more advanced. And so that's kind of what I want to do here. I want to kind of make this painting like an in between of that, because that one actually took me days for every little detail. So this one I want to and put those details in here without taking the days it took me with that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Look, this is what I mean about color mixing. You got a little blue, little yellow, but you need a brown, let's say. Once you got this greenish color. Just go into a little bit of red until you get the color you need. Okay, just like so. It's funny because when I first started off, only family and friends would watch the my videos, and my friends and I kind of joke around and kind of they make fun of me, but not where it hurts me, but where it kind of inspires me to keep going. And they would make fun of my first couple of paintings, not the painting itself, but more of like my camera angle and all that stuff. So that helped a lot. Okay, got some brown going on. Maybe there's gonna be a rock. But yeah, I think when people kind of tease at my stuff a bit, it kind of inspires me a bit more to prove them wrong and just keep going, just keep learning. And to this day, that's how I learn, because I'm not gonna disclose any names. They know who they are if they still watch my videos. But they would say, "I'm disappointed because you haven't reached a million followers or a million views or this or that." And it's to me, it's a way of, okay, I gotta build myself to prove I'm good enough. Like I always feel good enough, but I wanna be able to say, what can you say now, you know? And I always build myself from that. If people are always saying nice things about my paintings, like, don't get me wrong, I love when people say nice things about my paintings, but if they're always saying it, I get too comfortable because I think everything's perfect and I don't change it. So when people are saying, "Oh well, I'm disappointed because of this," then it's like, okay, let me fix it. Okay, some yellow. That's not right. Some some white, some yellow. That's a bit better. But I feel like there's no contrast there. So we gotta go again. We gotta get that contrast color. That's how you learn. Of course, people learn differently. I'm not saying my way is the right way, but that's how I learned. And I'm very very tough on myself. Any little detail, and I'll kill myself. Well, not kill, literally kill myself, but I'm always like, why did I do that? I should have done this. I used to, I still can dance, but I used to dance a lot to Michael Jackson. And recently they had me dance in a wedding, and someone sent me back the the video of me dancing, and I looked back at it. I said I did this wrong. Like everyone was saying how well I did and everything and how they enjoyed it, but I looked back at it and I was just like, I did this wrong, I did this wrong, I did this wrong. How can I do so I don't repeat those mistakes? That's how I am with paintings and all that. I'm always very, very tough on myself. But it's not for everyone. Some people need those compliments and tell them they're doing really well and all that, and it's okay. I was like that when I was first starting off, like way before YouTube. When I first started off, I needed people to tell me, "Hey, this is nice. You're doing everything right," and all that. Now I like people going against me. some I'm going into Indian yellow, a little bit of that green color I had mixed, and some white. Think of layers when doing this though. Think of every leaf that would kind of get a highlight area. I want to see someone try. I know, George, I'm not trying to call you out, but I know you follow along or are inspired by a couple of my paintings. But I want to see some people um, do it while I'm live or something like that. I think that would be cool. Okay, I think that's good. Honestly, that tree is. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Whether people like it or not, I like it. That's what matters. Let's just scratch in a few little sticks, twigs. Okay, so I'm gonna go into some of that light green color or light yellow, whatever you want to call it. Just layer upon. Okay. Just like so. Okay. Blend those colors out. There. You need some sort of shadows, which are these for me. So don't lose them. I could go darker and it probably wouldn't affect it much, but I want to keep it at that. So I'm gonna go here. This would cast a shadow. Maybe the light's coming here, so somewhere here, here, and then that rock area here. So just a little casted shadow that's going on there. Okay, just I'm coming back and forth, making sure there's no comments. I don't want to miss a comment. Okay, just block it in. But that value change will help. Okay, just block it in. Just scrub it to the very edge. And some light would hit it somewhere around there. Okay. I told a lot of stories today. Okay. Let's see where we're at. I like to step back. Um, so I have one of my paintings on eBay. I just wanted to test it out to see. But for the most part, when I was selling, I would go up to my teachers and tell them, show them my paintings. Hold on. Sorry about that. For the most part, I would go up to my teachers, show them my paintings, and ask them if they wanted to buy one. But I do have an eBay account where I've posted one painting, just to see whether that would work or not. But I'm going to put my eBay listing an account on the community post, as you guys know, where I type in messages and you guys could see them. I'll put it there if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, that's for the most part. I haven't made an Etsy account, or I have an Etsy account. I haven't posted paintings there to sell. Okay, light would be hitting here, so this kind of gets blended out. Okay, I think I think we should have a couple of bushes. So just some loose strokes. You know what? Let's go high with this one. See, although I'm doing an advanced painting, I really, really love the way paintings come out when I mean, not paintings. I really love the way my bushes come out when I'm painting on wet on wet. So I'm gonna paint that style right now. A little bit of liquid white on my 1 inch. That's too bright. That's too dark. Well, not too dark, but it just blended in. Okay. Let's add a little bit blue just to turn it green. A little bit more. You can combine styles. You don't have to fit just one, like, how can I explain? Just because you choose to do traditional painting doesn't mean you can't add a little bit of wet on wet techniques in there. Or just because you do wet on wet doesn't mean you can't sneak in traditional painting techniques. You can mix up the two and see what you get out of it. Scratch in a few lines. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, same comments. I haven't missed anything, so that's good. I might just use my 1 inch brush for quicker. A little bit of my 2 inch to darken it with that green. Get that saturation going. I don't have green on my brush. I have blue, which will turn my colors into green. And I'm using brown to kind of dull my colors down a bit. Sort of dull this out. You can grab your brush right here. Um, there's really no right or wrong, but just a little tip. Okay. Pull some of that down there. Okay, we got our color in. Now we gotta capitalize on it. Let's grab some of that bright color. And just block it on. Block some of that nice color. Next time I will use a bit of black. I think that'll help um, that help build contrast and all that. But for today, we're gonna leave it with these colors because because that's how I sort of want the painting. So some white to our brown, cut a row. Let's come up here. I think just a little bit hits it. Okay, there we go. There. Now I'm going to diffuse that. I should have done it with my brush to start off with, but let's just come up here and add a few little, well, just blending it basically. I'm gonna go back to crimson, a little bit of phthalo blue. Just mix it up on my palette. Composition wise, painting wise, this paint should be easy, but how you call it? The techniques should be oh, they're easy except for the cloud. That one's a bit more challenging, but it's nothing out of the world. Okay, just lightly, like if you're doing reflections, think about it that way. Okay, just going into some light color, somewhat dark, just mixing up colors, seeing what I get, then blending them out to kind of work together. Some dark goes here. What are we thinking? I want to get back to the chat. Nothing so far? That's okay. I'm adjust this. Oops. There we go. Okay. I'm going to add in a fence. Come up here. Zoom. Just do the same for the bottom just to reflect that. Very lightly. Okay. Now, there would be some shadows here from that bush. Some crimson and some phthalo blue. Just mixing up a dark lavender, but more to the blue side because that blue will make everything turn green. And I just went to the red side. So easy to put too much of something. Okay, there we go. Once you blend it is when it truly kind of comes together. You can tap it so it can blend in more with those colors. Okay, there we go. Kind of angle it though, like if the light well, it's where the light ends off, so gotta think that way. Okay. I'm running out of ideas. I've done so many paintings, I kind of forget what to paint. So loose strokes, maybe somewhere here, here. Whatever you do to the top, do to your shadows. Maybe here. Opposite, remember, because it's being reflected. Just pull lightly. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. A little bit more here. Okay. Now, do we got any other comments, questions? Nope. Same response. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna go into some brown, some of that lavender color. It's a mix between the two. And just add in a tree. Maybe there's a rock right along here. Okay. So we can't see the shadow, but visually in our minds we know there's a shadow around there. So I'm gonna go into some light brown and just lightly I'm gonna go into some more white just to lighten it up. Oh yeah, there we go. Gotta be able to compare those values and know where's the sweet spot. You can make your tree bigger, but it's a heck ton of problems to make it smaller. Okay, just like so. And if you wanted to, you can grab more white and just add a few little sparkles. Just touch and release. This will create texture and make it look like there's extra little highlights. I like to go back and blend them. I don't really like uh, leaving them almost pure white. Back to shadows. My shadow is a lavender, blue and crimson, but you guys could use black if you like. Okay. Step back, look at it. Maybe a barn. Okay. Maybe I'm trying to see where I would fit that barn. I think there would be one that you kind of see here, and then one that you see out here a bit. Something like so. I think there's two cabins slash barns. Let me go into some light color. Highlight this rock. Just barely glide it. You can tap it if you like. If it makes it any easier. So back to our shadows. A little bit more blue. There we go. There. Okay, just fill in a bit of a cabin. And same thing over here, but over here we just see our our little roof. We'll cover up some of our shadow, but the rest we'll see. Oh my god, it seems like every time I film, there's more noise. Or at least go live, not film. Filming, I go indoors and it's a bit more quiet. Shoot. Just slightly. Okay. And now I'm just gonna pile up my brown color. Okay. A little bit of brown. Just a little bit. Gotta flavor it up with some red. Okay. Oh yeah, that shows up a bit better. And then just drop it lightly. Like if you're working with the palette knife. There's not that much contrast. But you gotta learn how to work that way. Okay? A little bit more white. There. Just what seems some boards up there. Boards of wood. So just going into some lighter color and just making it appear that way. Let me see if there's any more suggestions, comments. Okay, we're good. Okay. Shoot, maybe just few little things going down here. Few little things going down here. Blend it. And what the heck? Just I'm just gonna change the shape of my roof. I think that looks a bit better. Okay. You can always change anything in your painting. Okay. Very gentle. And I think that's it for today. I don't want to put too much details on these cabins. Maybe a door I'll put. But even then, it's not gonna be as dark as a regular door I do. Alright, well I think that's it for today. I'm gonna stay back just to see if there's any questions, comments, concerns. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. There we go. Trying to get the perfect shot. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Nothing so far. You guys like this style of painting, or would you guys like a bit more easier? Or I could add more elements, like I did with my other one. My other one had more details. It had more things going on. So so I know for the next painting, I'm gonna be showing that. But for the next one, if you want, I could try to add more detail like this. Or if that's fine enough, we could leave it at that type of technique. Okay, well, next time I will do it more detailed. I fell behind on timing. I could have done this way quicker in like 40 minutes, probably. It's just timing. I gotta find someone to read me the comments so I don't have to be coming back and forth, back and forth. Okay, well, let me sign off. I think that's all for today. I'm gonna step over here. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching and joining this live stream and chatting with me and having this what feels like a conversation. It almost feels like everyone's here. I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next painting. Stay inspired and good luck. Take care, my friend. Goodbye.